next, lesson 90 is word problems with two statements of equality, which pretty much was what we just did, but this is going to take us even deeper. So let's do some of these. Here's what it says, example 91. Now, there are 6 examples, and you're going to need to pay attention to each one of them because they're all different. Okay? Together, Charles and Nellie picked 92 quarts. We'll put Charles and Nellie picked 92 quarts of berries. Okay? If Charles picked 6 more quarts than Nellie picked, how many quarts did each of them pick? Charles picked 6 more quarts than Nellie. Okay? How many quarts did they each, how many quarts did each of them pick? How many quarts did each pick? Now, let's take it one step at a time, because remember, at first we can take the amounts and figure it out, and the other one we want to take the numbers of. Let me go and put Charlie and Nellie. Charlie, Nellie. Okay. All right, now, so the first step is we want to be able to come up with a number. So not amounts, just numbers. So we've got the number of Charlie plus the number of Nellie equals, they picked together 92 quarts. So number of Charlie's picks plus the number of Nellie's picks equals 92 quarts. That was given information. And then this next one says this: if Charles picked 6 more quarts than Nellie. So let's talk about Charles. Okay? 6 more quarts than Nellie. Okay? So if Nellie had an amount and Charlie's was 6 more than Nellie's, then this is what Charlie had. Okay? So these are our 2 equations that we needed to come up with. Alright? So now, I'm going to use the substitution method since we already know what NC equals. Okay? So then I take what NC equals and put it where it says NC. So, NN plus 6 is that, plus NN equals 92. Right? Alright, so now, let me move this over here. So now I'm going to go in and add, I have one NN here and another NN, which makes 2 NN. And then I've got this plus 6, I need to move across the equals. So then I have 92, instead of plus 6, I'm going to go minus 6. Okay? Now, 92 minus 6 is 86. Okay? And then 2 NN. So this says 2 times. So that's divided by, and so NN equals 43. Make sure I got that right. Yes. So if NN equals 43, then all I do is come up here, and where NN is, I can either put it in this or this. Let's go in and do this. NN equals 43. So then what does NC equal? 49. See how we did that? So Charlie picked 49. And Noel picked 43, which gave us 92. Got it? Alright, let's keep doing some more of these kind of problems. Alright. The number of boys in Sarah's class exceeded the numbers of girls by 7. Okay? So, I'm going to write down the number of boys. Alright? The number of boys in Sarah's class exceeded the number of girls by 7. So we had a number of girls plus 7 gave us the total of number of boys. Listen to that again. The number of boys in Sarah's class exceeded the number of girls by 7. So we had a number of girls plus 7 gives us the number of boys. Get that?
Yep.
Okay, and then it says this: if there were a total of 29 boys and girls in the class, how many were boys and how many were girls? Well, let's write our second equation. We don't know how many boys there are plus how many girls there are, but we do know the total number of pupils in the class is 29. So those are the 2 equations that we're going to do, okay? So now, again, I'm going to use the substitution method because it's easier, because I already know what NB equals. So what NB is NG plus 7. So where this NB is, I'm going to put NG plus 7, and then bring everything else down. See that? Now I add my NGs. 1 NG plus another NG would be like 1 dog plus another dog makes 2 NGs, or 2 dogs. And then this plus 7 makes minus 7. 29 minus 7. So that would be 22. So 22 NG, excuse me. So this is 2 times NG. So if we move across the equals, we're dividing by NG. And NG equals 11. Okay? So now we can go up here, since NG equals 11, put it into the problem. 11 plus 7, NB equals 18. See how we do that? Alright, now, this next one is not numbers. They're basically going to be doing larger and smaller. So we're going to have a long piece and a short piece, or a large amount and a small amount. Okay, so we're just going to use L and S as our things. Now, I want to warn you, I was working these earlier, make sure you're drawing your S's kind of weird or something like that, because sometimes you can see that as a 5. I don't know if you can do that with that or not, but I ended up seeing it as a 5 and I missed the whole problem earlier. So, I like to write my S differently, okay? So, listen to this. It says, Philip cut a 32-meter rope in 2 pieces. The long piece was 9 meters longer than the short piece. What were the 2 lengths? Okay, so we know that it's 38 meters, the rope is, and we know we have a long piece and a short piece. So I'm going to say I have my long plus my short equals 38 meters. Now we don't know what each of those are, but that's what we have. Alright, and then it says this. It gives us another equation. The long piece was 9 meters longer than the short. So the long piece is 9 meters longer than the short. So I have a short amount, whoops, let me draw my S better. I have a short amount plus 9. So the longer one is 9 meters longer than the short. The long one is 9 meters longer than the short. Okay, so now we have our equations. And because we already have what L equals, I would do what L is. So if L is S plus 9, then I'm going to say S plus 9 plus S equals 38. And then I have one S plus another S makes 2S equals 38. And then this plus 9 moved across the equals makes minus 9. Okay? And so now 2S equals 29. Did I do that right?
Yeah.
29? Let me make sure I'm doing this right. That doesn't seem like a... Oh, I think it is. Okay, so then 29 divided by 2 is what? 14 and a half, which they are saying is 14.5. Okay, so they made it into a decimal number, and you can do that by putting a 0, bringing it down, and then 2 goes into 10 5 times, and then bring your decimal up. So 14.5. So S equals 14.5, and then when I put that back in here, 14.5 plus 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 23.5 is my L. Got it? So my S is 14.5, my L is 23.5. Alright, now, let's do the 4th example. Pause that, Isaac. Okay, let's go and do the 4th example, 90.4. Here's what it says. The sum of 2 numbers is 72. So, the way they did it, they went on and said L and S on this one, a large number plus a small number. You can do that, or you can put number 1 and number 2. I'm just going to do it like the book does it. So the sum of 2 numbers, L and S, a large number and a small number, is 72. So the sum of 2 numbers, this plus this, is 72. And then it says the difference of the numbers is 26. Now, that kind of gives us a clue that we're going to have a large number and a small number, because the difference between the 2 numbers is 26, just so you know, okay? That kind of helps us to recognize that. Okay, now, so large plus small equals 72. That's the first one. Now the second one says the difference of the numbers is 26. Difference means subtraction. So it'd almost be like the sum of would be adding the difference of the numbers. So we're taking the difference of the numbers. We're finding the difference of the numbers equals, the difference of the numbers is 26. So that was pretty easy just to come up with. So we have L plus S equals 72. The sum of them equals 72. The difference of them equal 26. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to either answer for L or 6. Now, what you can do is look at this, and you can do the elimination method by saying I have an S here and a negative S here, and that crosses those out. So then I just add these. Or if you feel better about the substitution method, let's just make this L. L equals 26. Move this minus S to plus S. Okay, if you like working with L equals this, you can do it that way. I'm going to do the elimination method because some of y'all might like the elimination method. So let's go on and do that one on this one. Okay, this one I don't have to multiply anything. This already sets it up to where I can cross those out. So this plus S, I'll make that S better, and this minus S crosses those out. So then I have 1L plus another L makes 2L. 72 plus 26 equals 98. Okay, 2 times L divided by 2. L equals 45, 46, 47. 47? I'm trying to do it in my head. 48, 49. Equals 49. L equals 49. Okay? And so then I would just come up here. Leave that back where it was. If L equals 49, 49 plus what equals 72? So I would take my S, and so this plus 49 will move across and go minus 49. So then S equals 23. Okay? L equals 49, S equals 23. All right, let's do example 5 on this next one. All right, here's what it says. Now, this is going to be, whoops. Sorry about that. Let me pause that. All right, sorry about that. It fell. All right, let's do example 5. The greater of two numbers is 16 greater than the smaller. Now, they're using greater and smaller, so G and S on this one. All right? When added together, their sum is 4 less than 3 times the smaller. So this was a pretty hard one. So you may come across this one on your practice, Isaac. That's not on your exactly your lesson practices, but this is going to be one of the problems you might even see on your test. So, the greater of two numbers is 16 greater than the small. Okay, so the greater of two numbers is 16 greater than the small. So I have a small, and it's 16 greater, 16 more. Than the small. So the greater of the two numbers is 16 greater than the small. And remember how you always do 16 greater than on the second part? You could put 16 plus, but so the greater one is 16 greater than the small. You got it? Okay, so that's one of ours that we came up with. All right, and then it says this: when added together, my greater number and my smaller number, when they're added together, their sum is 4 less than 3 times the smaller. So 3 times the smaller, and it's 4 less than that. Okay? 4 less than 3 times the smaller. Did you get that? Mm-hmm. When added together, their sum is 4 less than 3 times the smaller. What are the numbers? Okay, so this is my problem. All right. As you can see, I have S's here and S's here, so I would want to put my S's together. So let's go on and do that really quickly. I don't care which one we do. Let's go on and put our S on this side. So I'm going to bring this 3S over here. Okay? So then this will become a, let's do this, G plus 1S plus a negative 3S. So I move this positive 3S over to get a negative 3S equals, and then I've just got a negative 4, right? So now 1S plus negative 3S becomes negative 2S plus G equals negative 4. All right? Now, because I know what G is S plus 16. Okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this G plus negative 2S equals negative 4. Now, see what I did my S? Make sure you're showing that that's an S and not a 5. Okay? So, because G equals this, I'm going to go and put this up here. So, S plus 16, that's my G. And then plus negative 2S equals negative 4. Okay? So now, I have a 1S. Okay? So I'm going to go in and add my 1S plus my negative 2S, which gives me a negative 1S. Then my plus 16 equals negative 4 plus a negative 16 because it's a positive 16. Right? And so then negative 1S equals negative 20. This may be confusing. Negative 1S equals negative 20. Okay? And so this is negative 1 times S. So this divides by negative 1. And so S equals positive 20. Because negative 20 divided by negative 1 gives me a positive 20. So S equals 20. Alright? Now, since S is 20, that's why I tried to keep this here. I didn't want to erase it. If S equals 20, 20 plus 16 is 36. G equals 36. Okay? Alright, one more problem. This is example 6. And this one is not in the lesson practice, but you still need to know it because it may be on the test. They give us the ratio of two numbers is 5 to 4. That's the ratio. And the sum of the numbers is 63. So the ratio is 5 to 4, and the sum of the numbers, which we don't know what the numbers are, because this is the ratio. So let's go number 1 plus number 2. The sum of those is 63. The sum of the numbers is 63. What are the numbers? That's the question, okay? But this ratio, I need you to pay attention to. Because how you get a ratio is, for example, 25 over 20 would then be reduced. 25 divided by 5 would be 5. 20 divided by 5 would be 4. So, but this is just me making it up. So what is the number? Number 1, we don't know. Number 2 equals the ratio of 5/4. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So this is the first equation, even though we've never seen it. This is the second equation. Mm-hmm. Okay, you got it? Yep. Do you remember what to do on these?
Yeah, you
cross multiply them. So watch what I do. Okay, do you see how I came up with this? Mm-hmm. Because I pretended like I had 25 and 20. So that was important for you to come up with. Okay, so now I say 4 times N1 equals 5 times N2. That's one equation. That's one equation. Mm-hmm. Now, because these equations look so different, what I would recommend doing is come up, what is N1 then? Come up with a substitution. So you would move this plus N2 across the equals, and it becomes minus N2. So then we know that N1 equals that minus that. So we're going to come up here, because N1 equals this, I'm going to put this in for the N1. You see what I'm doing? Mm-hmm. So I'm going to move it down here. My N1 is this, so I'm going to put it here. 63 minus N2 equals 5 N2. See what I've done? Yep. N1 equals that, so I put it in that spot. So now we do this. I have no idea what that is. 25. 252 minus 4 in 2 equals 5 in 2. Okay? So now I'm going to move this negative or minus, let's make it a negative. So this negative 4 in 2 across the equals, and that becomes a positive 4 in 2. Got it? Equals 252, so I just got rid of that. Equals 5n plus 4n equals 9n 2. So then 252 divided by 9 n 2 equals n 2 equals 28, just so you know. Okay? So then we come up here, and n1 equals 63 minus n2. n2 is 28, so 63 minus 28 is 35. So n1 equals 35. Got it?
Yep.
That's lesson 9.